Clients, you mentioned that the future website should be on par with your clients. What clients do you compare yourself to, and what do you see as their strengths? Well, I mean, like, I want to say that most of like the clients that we would want to work with would be really sort of ultra successful venture backed companies. And I'm just going to take this. I do work with Sequoia and their companies, but I'll just take this for example. So you could look at any of these websites. I mean, these are obviously their biggest investments. So you'll recognize a lot of these names. But let's take Vanta because this is one of our clients that we've worked with. Uh, so, I mean, you can see this site is fucking slick, man. I mean, it looks really good. Um, and this is what I mean that, like, it's a site that's robust, clean, modern, whatever. Um, and that when they come through the door, that I mean, this is hard because these companies are often public and they have crazy, crazy sites. But I guess I don't know what Imprint looks like today. Uh, yeah, he was redoing a site. I don't know. This is the point is that like you can see the the aesthetic for a lot of these. They're like these SaaS companies are going to be modern. They're going to be clean. They're going to be. They probably spent a ridiculous amount of money building their website, and so like if you yeah, I'm just trying to give you like a list. Like I would say like SaaS companies is probably a pretty good, I don't know, B2B. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't want to like pigeonhole myself and just say, oh, it's this. And sometimes when they get too big, then it's like their sites just get outrageous and it's not really fair to compare them to. But I think you could probably, look at maybe this is a tough question. I think the design aesthetic is pretty common. Um, in that they're all going to be like robust. They're all going to be sites that are really using the latest kind of modern techniques. They're going to be responsive. They're going to have animations. They're going to be kind of what you guys are building for yourself. You know what I mean? Like it in a way. So I don't know if you need me to dig into to this some more and like actually think about okay, give you a list of 10 sites to look at that I think are really good and kind of be like would be like our clients. I can do that. Um, but off the top of my head, it's really hard to think about. Like I don't have like a list that I can just give you. Industries. Okay. So what are the specifics of working with companies from different industries? So I also gave this to you already. This is already in the Slack channel. This is basically if you look at the list that whatever ChatGPT cranked out based on my current leads. It made some recommendation on, oh, use these 8 things. And it was like, where the hell is it? Yeah, okay. AI, venture capital, SaaS, developer, Internet of Things, cybersecurity, fintech, crypto. So those are 8 of the 10. And then the other 2 that I mentioned I wanted to keep were ag tech and sustainability. So those are the 10. Selection process. How do users typically choose a PR agency to collaborate with? What factors are most important to them? Experience, client reviews, successful case studies. Ooh, such an important question. This is so important. And this is kind of easy to answer too. Like, I feel like I've mentioned this a little bit in some of my videos, but I think people are looking for a PR agency with domain expertise in whatever that domain that they exist in is. For example, a fintech startup wants to find a PR agency that has worked with other fintech startups. Period. Full stop. They feel like I will speak their language because there's all kinds of jargon, right? Like I used to work in like advertising, and so there's all these like things called, you know, DARP. It's been so long. Is it DARPU? Daily active revenue per user. But people just throw around DARPU in that industry, and if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, you hear that word, you don't even know what it means. And there's all kinds of like DAUs, like daily active users. There's all these jargon terms, and I think it's in the same way that like these industries all have their own specific jargon and language, and they want to find a PR agency that speaks their language. Okay, a PR agency that speaks their language, and that is it. That is like the main thing. They come in, they're like, I want to see, is this the, like, that's why when I try to own those searches, right? For like fintech PR agency or whatever it is, it's because this is how someone searches. If they are a fintech company, that is literally how they are finding a PR agency. They just click that in and they go, okay, who's coming up? Who is coming up? Or they might do some variation of like, maybe like, they'd be like, who is the best fintech PR agency? Right? And they might let Google answer it or whatever, just see what comes. Oh, there is no single best, but here's like 6 that might work, right? So the point is that like that is far and away the number one way, and that's why I have to have all of these sector pages that are so optimized for people who are coming in off of a website search like this, who are looking to find their ideal PR agency. And then once they land and once they're there and they realize, oh, I'm in the right place. This is it. This is a PR agency for AI companies. This is a PR agency for crypto companies, whatever. And they realize they're in the right place. Then all that other stuff, like testimonials, client reviews, seeing, that there are like examples of, coverage that they've gotten, right? Like take this very like conversion optimized site. When this agency pulls in somebody off of a website, right? They're getting this keyword, right? Someone typed in financial PR agency. They land, and what do they have? We are a financial PR agency. They're not beating around the bush with some cute tagline. They cut straight to the heart of what the person is looking for. You came in off the web, you're looking for a PR agency who's a financial PR agency. We are a financial PR agency. They answer the question. Now the user is like, oh, cool, I'm in the right place, right? Then what do? With 200 plus effective campaigns. Okay, we're a very experienced PR agency. Great. That just helps the user go, this is not some fly by the night operation. Wonderful. Then the user quickly looks and sees, oh, they got 5 stars on Clutch. Okay, so this seems to not just be any PR agency from finance, but a good one. And then they look to the right. What do they see? But a whole bunch of actual coverage that showcases their wins, right? And that's before they've even started to scroll, right? And then you have more of this, like, here's some of the examples of the companies. You know, our agency is trusted by so many clients, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, if you pick up on what I'm putting down here, you go back to this whole thing of what is the most important thing, that they're finding their domain expertise PR agency. Insert domain expertise here, right? Insert keyword here. That's what they're looking for. And when they're there, there's a whole bunch of other ways to then convert them. You can use testimonials like this. You can make it seem trustworthy, putting people's faces. You can put your your quote from your CEO. You can put your links to case studies and things like that down here, right? Like, that's why I'm saying I don't think this site looks good. It's pretty generic and frankly uninspiring and boring and kind of just like not creative. It doesn't scream innovative to me. But, and a big but, in some ways it doesn't even matter because they have figured out the conversion thing so well. And what I'm hoping we can do is like marry those two things. Take this design love language that you guys understand. You understand how to create beautiful, beautiful sites and make people excited and passionate and like engaged and flow through a site with beauty and grace. And then marry that with this sort of marketing conversion engine where it's like, we don't have to copy them, but we do need to copy the things that they're doing that work, and we can do it in our own way, better way. But these are the ingredients to answer your question of how do they get selected, right? That's it.